Please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Welcome back. Well, interesting. That's the SGX Nifty. Now, keep in mind, we are reacting to 2 days of bunched up global cues, and we are, looking at a 60-point gap down this morning. Don't know if that is how it will pan out, but that's what the SGX Nifty is indicating. Dow futures are in green, by the way, though it may not matter for now, but that's one more cue. Hang Seng is now once again down 200 points, so that entire recovery has been sold into, and how 212 points is down on Hang Seng now. Deven Choksey of Choksey Securities is with us now. Deven, good morning. I wanted your thoughts first on Kotak Mahindra Bank. That's of course going to be an important stock today. You reckon this is in the price now, the way the stock has fallen, or you reckon there could be some more correction?
Yeah, good morning, Anuj. Well, I think obviously the price has corrected, and I think the correction in price is definitely suggesting the welcome kind of a move for the investors. On the other side, the holding will have to be reduced as per the RBI guideline also. So in such situation, I think you should be seeing a reasonably good set of investors entering into the stock. Particularly, I think the price is also corrected, and I think the opportunity should be, I think, large enough. So in my viewpoint, I think this correction in the price becomes an opportunity. Also for the fact that the company has basically many other verticals in which the valuations are growing significantly. And going forward, many banks probably would be monetizing these verticals, and that's the reason for which I believe that I think likes of Kotak should be probably seen as an opportunity at current levels. The price correction is more than welcome. Maybe any correction further, I think, is further welcome opportunity for the investors.
Okay, Deven, stay on. We'll address the pre-opening. Of course, rupee is going to be most important. That's a fresh record low, 70.19 per dollar. Now, keep in mind, in fact, the market was prepared for worse than that. Yesterday, in the offshore market, we were very close to 71. That, of course, is also the futures trading. But for now, that gap up in the dollar rupee is also being bought. So in a sense that, after opening at 70.19, we are actually at 70.22 half. So 0.5% lower is what we have on the rupee right now. Let's see how the market reacts to that. For now, currency is not giving us good cues, at least to start with.
Okay. Yes, they're not, but they, of course, the fall in the rupee is positive for IT stocks. All of them are rallying this morning. Infosys, Tech Mahindra, Wipro, all up about 0.5% or so. The way crude has been moving, you have a move on the oil marketing companies this morning. So HPCL, BPCL, all up in the green. In fact, topping the Nifty charts right now. Let's get a quick comment on the rupee, though, from Koon Go, the head of Asia Research at ANZ Research. He joins in now. Koon, thanks for joining in. The rupee is now at a record low of 70.1. Of course, we are seeing a global emerging currency, rout. Do you expect that to continue, and what are you forecasting on the rupee now?
Yeah, in the near term, certainly there's going to be further pressure on emerging market currencies, and in particular those that are running current account deficits. And this is a spillover effect from what's happening in Turkey, and in the case of India, particularly after reporting a large trade deficit number a couple of days ago, that's really put the INR in the spotlight. So further near-term weakness and weakening pressure definitely is to be expected. Rupee's already hit our year-end target of 70. I think at this stage, it's fair to say that we could see, further new lows to come for the rupee.
For the new low, Koon, good morning. What are those lows that you're looking at over the next 3 or 4 months, perhaps?
Yeah, I think we're really in uncharted territory, in the meantime. So, trying to project any particular levels, I think, is a bit futile at this particular stage. But if you look at it sort of technically, I guess the next big level will come in around 70.5, and then followed by 71. I mean, those are, quite a bit of a stretch from here. But if we see further deterioration in sentiment, as I said, I think certainly you can't rule out the potential of us getting to those kinds of levels.
Do you think that the outperformance that the rupee has seen compared to other emerging market currencies will continue? I mean, if you map the last 3 or 4 years compared to the rand, the real, the ruble, the rupee has outperformed quite a bit. You think that would continue?
Yeah, I think, if you compare the rupee with some of these other emerging market countries that you mentioned, South Africa, Turkey, certainly India's current account deficit and fundamentals are better compared to theirs. I mean, Turkey, for example, is running a current account deficit of 6.5% of GDP. India is not running anywhere near those. So that's why rupee, while under pressure, is not expected to weaken to the same extent. But if you compare India within the Asia EM space, then certainly the rupee has underperformed its Asian regional peers. It's the worst performing currency in Asia so far this year. And it's certainly, when you compare it to this part of the region, I think that's where we are seeing, some selling pressure amongst those investors that are largely invested in Asia.
All right, Koon, thanks a lot for your time today. That's the word from ANZ Research. Perhaps some more weakness is possible. For now, let's look at pre-opening. Kotak, of course, is down 1.5%, but then let's see how that one shapes out. ICICI is down about 1%. Vedanta is down 3%. That, of course, is going to be, as we were discussing with Manisha as well, perhaps the stock to track. There's copper down, there's crude which is down, so not looking good over there. Tata Steel as well, down about 1.5%. On the way up, of course, you have HPCL, 1.5% higher. Sun Pharma is showing 0.5% uptick for starters, make that 0.7% now. So let's see how that one opens. And UPL is recovering a bit after that decline on Tuesday that we saw, Sonia.
Oh, absolutely. I think the fall in crude is having some positive impact on some of these beaten down aviation stocks. So Jet Airways, for example, is up about 2.5%. Of course, Jet Airways has a whole host of other issues going for it. So this is really not a big positive. But there's a sentiment move that you're seeing for aviation stocks. Deven, on IT names, it's a tailwind, right? I mean, the way the rupee has been falling. Would you put any incremental money to work? This has been the best performing sector this year so far. Any of the outperformers that you like?
Yes, Sonia, I think we have been continuing to hold our view on two mid-size IT companies, and one is a Tata Elxsi out of them, and second is KPIT. We feel both these companies are distinctly positive as far as I think their business growth program is concerned. So as a result of which, I think you have a relatively stable visibility on the business side. We are typically not putting too much of money in the frontline IT companies because I think the growth over there is slightly limited, and maybe I think the price have already adjusted to that particular view. So as a result of which, I think we are not putting additional money there. But mid-size IT companies, these two companies we continue to hold, though they are a little bit expensive currently, but I would think that a corrective market could give an opportunity. As of now, we continue to hold.
Deven, what about Reliance? That's, of course, at fresh high, 1200 on the stock.
Well, Anuj, I believe that I think the visibility in the fiber to home product, I think, is basically demanding a view here. Assuming that I think they are having a per month per subscriber 500 rupee kind of a price, I think, which they may probably give it to you. So in that, I think you have all the networks combined into it, the landline network, the internet network, and the set-top box network, all combined into it. And the model shift from a pure connection to, I think, the data consumption. In that kind of a situation, I think we see the possibility of this company adding significantly large number of customers. In my viewpoint, I think, assuming that I think the total customer base for them could be somewhere around 50 crores and 500 rupees per month kind of a subscription that you get, I would think that the company offers a distinctly high visibility of somewhere around 3 lakh crore revenue and about 1,20,000 crore EBITDA. Going forward in next 2 years, if this situation emerges, then probably Reliance stock should reflect, the stock price should reflect going forward in every subsequent quarter, one would validate these numbers. So that's the reason for which I believe that the Reliance stock is remaining firm, and I would believe that it will continue to hold the firm ground, I think, for next 2 years as the visibility gets matured over a period of time.
Okay, well, two more stocks that you'd want to look at this morning, reacting to numbers. Sun Pharma, where the numbers, as we know, were above street estimates. CLSA has raised their target price to 750 on Sun Pharma. And as we heard in the conference call as well, the company has retained their FY19 revenue growth guidance of low double-digit growth. The other one is Dilip Buildcon. Good numbers coming in, and the market is rewarding that. So the stock is now up almost about 4% odd. Before we go across and listen into what the chairman of Sun Pharma had to say, Deven, just a quick comment from your end. Would you at any point buy some of these names? I mean, Sun Pharma has not delivered any glory to shareholders in the past, but this quarter numbers were not bad. You think it's a turning point?
Yes, I believe that I think the specialty products which the Sun Pharma has lined up, and the visibility over there is, I think, far more clearer now than before. So eventually I think you would be seeing on a successive quarter basis in the second half of this financial year some new products getting launched, and probably I think that's where the analyst calculation would start for 1 year forward earnings on that subject. So we believe that I think the specialty product portfolio and the launch therein could be the driving force. Ranbaxy related integration is more or less absorbed into the books for the Sun Pharma, and that should possibly save the negative impact on the profit, and I think you should be seeing the profit margin returning to normalcy. So these two areas giving us a comfort, and that's where we believe that I think the stock can be considered for buying at this current level. Maybe any further correction, because it has rallied in last few days or weeks, I think that could be another opportunity to add further.
Okay, the pre-open has settled 38 points lower on the Nifty and 185 lower on the Bank Nifty in particular. Ashwini, your thoughts? 27,836 is the Bank Nifty opening. 27,850 is where 854 was the Tuesday low. So we are opening around Tuesday low. Your thoughts on whether there's a trade here, and what's your 9-10 call?
See, like I said, that you have to buy or rather fade the boundaries when you have a sideways market. So I'm a buyer on Bank Nifty. It will shake you a little bit, but if things start to improve, say second half, that's where you'll make your money. Otherwise the trade will fail. Similarly, Nifty also 11,370, 380 thereabouts, you should try to buy it. Yes, rupee is weakening, and that is I think priced in. If Europe opens better and US futures etc. They recover, I think we have enough on the upside to help the market higher. So maybe Bank Nifty will underperform a little bit in the morning, but by afternoon you should have buying comeback. Individual stock for 914 is Biocon. That's a buy with a stop of 584, target of 610.
Okay, Biocon is the stock that Ashwini is looking at. For now, a couple of these names. Patel Engineering is moving up quite a bit, actually. I mean, it's still down about 35% this year, but the numbers were not bad. It's a net profit of 36 crores that the company has posted versus a loss same time last year. So there's a turnaround there. Otherwise, for the market in general, Anuj, I mean, it looks like it's going to be a slightly subdued opening, but we can take this in our stride, right? Considering the kind of moves we've seen in the past.
Yeah, I think 11,400 you're fine, Sonia. If you start to slip below 11,350, I think look, the market's priced in 70. Now, we are at 70.24. If there's going to be an intervention or not, whether we are going to go back above 70, that's something to watch out for.
But it doesn't feel like a catastrophic situation where there could be a seminal fall in the market because of the currency.
It doesn't look like that. Also the market breadth has been reasonably okay, Sonia. Over the last few days, even on down days, we've been quite okay. And the last few days, the market's got legs. Earlier it was only 5 or 6 stocks. Of late, you have the corporate banks performing. You have the IT, of course, has been at new high. The other sectors, pharma has started to make a fresh move. I think that move has just started once again. Sun Pharma, for example, today could be a bit of a cushion. So the market's got triggers, but you would want to see the market's verdict. If you start to slip below the previous low, 11,250 was the last low, by the way. Till that, you're fine. But let's see if you go there. Buy on dips has worked. So let's see if this dip gets bought or not.
Okay, let's see. Sudarshan, you've been talking about the pharmaceutical stocks for very long now. On Sun Pharma, I know you've mentioned it in the past, but there's some fundamental positive triggers as well. Would you trade it on the upside today?
Absolutely. I would buy Sun Pharma for a trade also today. I think today and tomorrow, if we carry, we should have good returns.
Okay. Ashwani, in the mid-cap IT, NIIT Tech, of course, is at new high. We saw Tata Elxsi make a big move. Hexaware has been making big moves. Your thoughts on this space?
See, this is now a well-consolidated space, plus a tailwind is back. So I would think mid-cap IT could pick up on the rally, that it had a couple of months back.
Okay, we just have a minute to go, so let's just kind of recap. It could be a slightly down day for the market, down about 40 odd points for the Nifty, and a couple of these metal names could be under pressure as we've been discussing. Mitesh, a quick word from your end. How would you trade names like Vedanta, Hindalco, Tata Steel today and over the next few days?
See, I do like the ferrous metal pack, and both JSW Steel and Tata Steel are turning positive. Tata Steel, if it recaptures 585, 586 levels, I think then the stock could see a trading rally to about 625 odd zone. Vedanta and Hindalco to me, I think appear clearly weak and maybe on the short side, but not immediately on a gap down opening.
Okay, fair enough. Just about 23 seconds left for markets to open, so let's just shift our attention over there and see how the opening is. 11,397 is where the pre-open settles, so of course that will be the first reference point. Let's see if we start there or we start better than that or worse than that. We'll find out.